I got to tell you, pre-COVID, I traveled a lot. And so I would walk through the Dallas Love Field Airport and think, oh my goodness, we ought to be in here. Like we truly ought to be here and in here. And you know how I am, Tex, kind of like world domination, takeover spirit. I'm like, we got to do a takeover of this airport. And of course, when I start to envision a complete takeover, having the Mavs out there, a whole new look, of course, you know who I thought about. There's one person who I know can carry out that vision for us, and that's of course you, Tex. So it was. Thank you for like really leading and carrying out that vision. Why did you think it was a good fit for us?
I just think, it was an interesting time, obviously, with COVID hitting. And I just think it was something that we could do to obviously speak to the team spirit, but just also to uplift everybody, and they're coming and going. And it gave us an opportunity with the airport being down traffic-wise for a while, that when everybody got a chance to start to come back to travel, they got something that was warm and inviting and spoke to them from this city.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Love Field Stories. I'm Guy Bruggeman, Manager of Art and Programming at Dallas Love Field. On Love Field Stories, we share stories, memories, and experiences about our favorite airport and its impact on the people of North Texas.
And I'm Dave Forehand, Vice President of Gardens for the Dallas Arboretum, and you're here in our beautiful Christmas village. We'll open this to the public tomorrow. You may hear some noise around behind me. We're still getting ready, so that's just people getting it polished up for our grand private opening ceremony tonight.
So today we're talking about our favorite time of the year, the holiday season.
That's right.
And some of the wonderful things to do and see in Dallas.
Yep. And there's plenty of those things here at the Dallas Arboretum. I just mentioned our Christmas village. It's German inspired. There's over 20 little shops. There's a toy store, a candy store, bakery. There's a beer garden where you can actually buy a really good sausage plate. Gosh, there's a lot going on. Get a beverage in there as well. Lots of things to do in here. We have a scavenger hunt for kids.
Oh, excellent.
It's really, really, really fun as well. So I think if people come out to visit, they're going to enjoy it. When people come, they have to have a time ticket to go on and get a reservation. We don't have walk-up purchase anymore, so it's important. But people can pick. It's just a special day that they want to come.
Perfect.
We also have a night event here in the garden. It's sponsored by Reliant Energy, and it's really cool as well to see the million twinkle lights in the trees.
That's a lot of lights. So first, let's talk a little bit about the history of things. You are, how old are you again? This Arboretum is...
We've been around about a little over 35 years, give or take. It started because it slowly transitioned from a city park property, City of Dallas Park property, to the Dallas Arboretum Botanical Society Incorporated, managed site. It's still city-owned, so this is a city-owned property, so it's a great public-private partnership.
Yep.
So we started doing a little bit of a Christmas traditions even back then. It was about 20 years ago. We were inherited from the Harrington family a really nice collection of nativities. It's been collected from around the world. And that was a display that people like to see. And we would put that in the historic DeGoyer Mansion, which is one of the two properties that was on the garden location. And now we do that every third year. And in fact, this year, starting tomorrow, it'll be on display again in that house. So that's
excellent.
neat.
Well, we're 104 years old. We just turned 104 in October. But our art and programming hasn't really been around as much as that. So for us, we just started about 2015. We started our holiday music series. It was actually how we kicked off our programming portion of this. We started out with about 3 or 4 acts, and then it's been slowly built up over the course of time. One of them is the Merry Band of Christmas. They're actually Irving Alumni High School band. Now they changed their name to Merry Band of Christmas because they'll let anybody in their brass section. Started out with about 14. At that time, we didn't even have the stage. We just put them next to the Christmas tree by the ticketing hall. And then now they're about up to 40 different musicians that play. They come out annually. It's been a couple challenging years for us. I'm imagining the same with you, with some challenges that we've faced with the COVID-19 here. But it sounds like you're getting back to.
We all figured out how to work through it, and now for us, we're pretty much back the way we were before with the things. But because we were outside park, it was a little easier for us to still figure out how to make things work during the COVID time.
Yeah, we still got those challenges. We have a federal mask mandate that we have to adhere to. So our performances are still down. We are doing some bookings for the holiday season this year, but pretty much most of the musicians that are performances that we have are instrumental versions because they have to wear a mask, and it's a little bit challenging to belt out songs and stuff with masks on and stuff too. So
it's different. I think I even had to give a talk with a mask on one time, which is really an odd thing to have to do. But luckily, we're getting a little bit better.
Yeah.
So when you come to the Arboretum for holiday, you'll not only see this Christmas village, but we have the 12 Days of Christmas display.
Saw some of that
7th year.
walking in.
They're 30 to 40 foot glass Victorian gazebos that highlight the song 12 Days of Christmas as you walk through parts of the garden. And that's a great exhibit. People love that. So the combination of that with the Christmas village is nice, with the house decorated.
Yeah, sounds like there's a lot to do here for the next couple months.
And in fact, talking about the lights, first time we're going to have it on display, but it's a 42-foot dancing Christmas tree. So it's a giant tree with LED lights that can move to the sounds of the music. So it's a whole set of different songs that play, and the lights spin up the tree and down. And also, I think that's going to be a hit. I think everybody, kids and adults, all are going to love that.
That sounds pretty good. Our tree is getting a little raggedy. We have our holiday tree lighting ceremony coming up in the 1st of December, so maybe I can talk the director into getting us one of those fancier trees too.
I know. That'd be great. Maybe a mini version for the terminal.
Yeah.
So speaking of tree lighting, it's always fun when we do that because invariably there's something tricky that goes on because we have this oversized switch that somebody, one of the celebrities, someone's going to flip as they do the countdown. It always seems like there's this awkward lag between the switch and the actual light. So.
My coworkers know that to a T. We've done, I think this is our 5th year, I believe, doing our tree lighting ceremony, and we've had a little bit of mistakes. The first year, I was just going to plug it in because we didn't have a remote control for it, but I couldn't see the director, so I was a little off kilter on that one. The second year, I thought I'd get a little smarter, and I brought a remote control from home, tested it out, everything worked fine. He went through his little stuff, flips the switch, and I was a little too far because I wanted to stay out of the frame of the cameras, and the remote wasn't working, so I had to keep running closer and kept pushing the button, and it finally triggered up. 3 years ago, I did the same thing, and so last year we were fortunate where it was just done virtually, so I didn't have to flip a switch, which was a little bit easier. So, yeah, those overscale large light switches do tend to cause a little bit of problems and stuff. But
hopefully tonight it'll be one of the best flip switches ever for us. I hope so. Anyway.
So speaking about tonight, it's not open for the public yet. Yeah. Tonight is
it was like members only signed up. It's a sold out event for the members, but we'll open tomorrow, November the 10th, and be open all the way through till the 31st.
All right. And so you've talked about that. We also, I believe you said you still have the Pumpkin Village up for a little bit too.
Yep. It's still here for one more day. So
one more day.
Yeah. But that was a great run. So we basically, festivals are completely touching, and then we're switching from one to the other. So one day it goes from pumpkins in autumn to like Christmas and holiday
season. All right, let's see what else we need to talk about here. So we can talk a little bit more about some of the history of stuff that we've done. you said that the house has been here for a while, and
Yep. So we with the property, we inherited the two historic homes, the DeGoya Estate and the
Okay.
Alex Camp Estate, and we use both of those for holidays. You know, we're also a place where we have a lot of private rentals. People may not know
Okay.
that, although they may, when they visit, kind of see like weddings beginning to be set up. But during like our peak times, we have about 450 weddings a year here at the Arboretum. So lots happening here, not only during the day when we're open to the public, but in the evening as well, for people doing private events and things like that.
that's quite a few events that you have. Our events are mostly passengers traveling, so we try to do more things to help the passengers ease of travel and
Right.
stuff. So that's why we do focus on the holiday series with tree lighting, music performances. We've actually brought in the Class Act Tap Dance Company. I've actually met these women on a plane to Philadelphia. They were going out to New Jersey. It's how to put this delicately. They're a senior tap group.
Okay.
They age and range from 40 is the youngest to about 78 is the oldest one. They've come out a couple different years for us, and they actually do about a 30-minute tap set, but they have 3 outfit changes during the 30
My
minutes.
goodness.
But they are a big hit with our passengers.
I bet they
After
are.
that, even though it's only a 30-minute set, they'll stick around for about an hour and get photos with a bunch of the passengers that are
Do they
traveling through.
do the tap on your stage? Do you have to set up
We had them on the
floor?
stage, but we just put them right in the floor in front of it. We've
Okay.
got the perfect terrazzo floor for tap.
Yeah.
Instead of
You
having
do.
to put plywood down onto the stage because the stage is carpeted. So,
Right.
but yeah, that's something we look forward to. We're hopefully they're going to be able to come out again this year too for us.
Yeah, I know they'll be a big hit. Sounds neat.
So, what are some of the other things we've talked about this? But there's a big glockenspiel thingy back behind here.
Yeah, exactly. It's Christmas pyramid.
Okay.
This is a tradition in parts of Germany and Czech Republic, those areas. They'll build one of these big ones right in the little village center,
Mhm.
of town center. And people have had these in their homes for hundreds of years.
I believe we had
it's-
something similar to that. Not quite that
it's
tall, though.
usually like nativity based and maybe other local scenes that are built in. Mostly with hand carved wood for their smaller ones.
Mm-hmm.
And they light candles, and the candles will make the propeller spin at the top from the
Okay.
heat
Yep.
rising.
Yep, I'm sure put my mom through a lot of torment. When we had the candles lit, my brother and I would always be messing around with it.
Yeah.
But that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's a fun kind of centerpiece here in our village. The other thing people will see when they come to visit, especially after Thanksgiving, the garden will be transitioning, and we'll be in the process of planting our 500,000 tulips and daffodils, and then putting pansies on top of all those beds.
Okay.
So that's a neat time to see that. A lot of people like to watch us plant the bulbs.
That's amazing. So,
Our little team can plant about 25,000 bulbs a day so we try to get them in the ground as quick as we can.
we put plantings out, but nowhere near that size for our entrances and stuff. But yeah, that's amazing. It's quite a bit that they can do out there.
Yep, and it's not that long after they start to show their little pointy little tulip heads, and then usually around the late February, 1st of March,
Okay.
we've got tulips blooming again, and
That's
the whole
amazing.
season and the year starts all over again.
Yep. Yeah. Well, let's see what else we can talk about here. So let's go back to that 45-foot dancing tree again. That's a brand new?
Brand new. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
It rises up good. They'll be able to see it from the other side of White Rock Lake.
Okay. I haven't quite seen where that is when I got a little bit of a brief tour of this today.
It's actually behind the Alex Camp Estate. That's the white historic home.
Okay.
And behind there, it's had a natural slope, so that's where our concert stage is.
Okay.
Where we can seat about 3,000 people for concerts.
Do you do a lot of concerts?
We do, and we kick back. We had to not do them last year,
Mm-hmm.
but we were back in full force. In fact, this year with our concerts, they just sold out immediately. Basically, everybody jumped on it because people are looking for things to do, and coming to a concert at the Arboretum is pretty cool.
Yeah, especially outdoors. Feel a little more comfortable with that. What type of performances are you?
They're just different cover bands. We kind of focus on what people, I'd say, 40 to 100 like.
Okay.
So it's those bands that people remember from back in the day, like the Beatles cover and those kind of things.
Okay. Excellent. Yeah, we've got We're still in the process of booking some of our performances for the holiday season. We do work closely with the Texas Music Project. They're a nonprofit organization. They normally supply some musicians for us or performers. And then we also work with because we're city owned too, just like you talked about that. The airport is city owned. So we work with the Office of Arts and Culture, the Public Art. There's a community artist program that we normally borrow a couple musicians from them, particularly one that's been out almost 8 years now. The Len Barnett is percussion things. He brings out a group. They play jazz mostly, but what they'll also do is they spice it up a little bit during the holiday season. And they bring out a steel drum and they play kind of reggae Caribbean holiday music and stuff too. So that
sounds good.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a really good relationship we have with the Office of Arts and Culture on that CAP program to bring out local musicians.
It's really cool. I don't think I've ever been in an airport where there was anything going on like that. Is that pretty unique to you guys?
It's becoming more and more common in most airports now. Visual arts have been established in a lot of the airports, but now it's more people are moving to performance-based stuff, musicians, theater, dance, that type of stuff. So you see more and more of that in there. And mainly there's a couple of issues. One is that reasons we've got a captive audience. We try to recommend, especially during the holiday season, get at least to the airport 90 minutes in advance. We've got a lot of family members that aren't used to familiar with traveling, and they've got kids in tote. And so once they get through security, we just try to entertain them by doing that music performances. We've got a button maker. It's about 8 years ago, I came back from a conference and I told our director that I wanted a button maker. It was the first thing I'd purchased. We actually retired the button maker. We've probably made 25,000 buttons, if not more. We finally wore it out. We bought a new button maker, but we go out, we set up normally near the stage and we do art-based activities with the kids, coloring pages, button making with them. 2 years ago, we made little reindeer with pipe cleaners and stuff. So we just do types of fun activities for the kids and families. Yeah. So. Oh, we got some questions?
Okay. When will the Christmas tree lighting take place at Love Field?
We're still trying to get that on the director's. Probably the second week in December, I'm hoping. I just reached out to the director and he gave me 3 dates that's available on his calendar. So we're working, but we will definitely have our social media team promote it because there is 30 minutes for parking for free at the airport. And so we will definitely promote that, but it's going to be probably the second week. It's really fast. It's about a 30-minute ceremony, but we do offer hot cider, hot cocoa sometimes, cookies and that kind of stuff too. So right now we're shooting for the second week of December.
Okay. And Dave, we've heard there's a new beer garden here. What types of foods will be served?
Well,
here?
It's all German-inspired food in the beer garden. It's just over my shoulder here, and you can get a sausage plate in there. Of course, different beers. And there's a Glühwein, which is the hot wine, the mulled wine, which will be offered there, and other beverage as well for the kids. So you can just plan on doing dinner here at the Arboretum Christmas Village if you pick a nighttime visit.
Okay, and we have another question. How many out-of-town visitors come to the holiday Christmas events at the Arboretum? And of course, fly through Dallas Love Field.
Yeah, that's generally where the journey starts, is with us.
We have people from all over, the country that visit. We're the number one thing to do on TripAdvisor here in the Dallas Metroplex. So we get plenty of folks. In fact, through our docents who collect signatures and the houses people come in, we've had people from at least 50 different countries visit. So we're the place to come and be outside when you're in Dallas.
Well, that starts wrapping up for holiday kickoff for us is the Friday before Thanksgiving. So hopefully there'll be lots of passengers. It looks good for us. And that means probably good bonus people hopefully for you to come visit you as well.
Get to see us too. It's been fun talking to you. And,
yeah.
And hope everybody enjoyed our little chat.
Yep.
Thank you for watching and stay tuned for the next episode.
Yeah. Appreciate you guys.